Welcome to Senior Moment with Nurse Linda, and happy Turkey Day to everybody if you're watching this around Thanksgiving 2012. This is Dr. Charles behind the camera, and this is Nurse Linda, all ready for the Great Smokeout. Is that what it's called?
Yes, the Great American Smokeout.
Great American Smokeout.
The official date for that was actually November 15th. But we were talking about COPD month, which is also November. But November is also the Great American Smokeout. And it's all about people smoking and the health effects that it has on them and their loved ones. A lot of people still have the attitude, well, if I want to smoke, it only affects me. Well, they have the science out there now to understand it doesn't just affect you. It affects everyone, especially children when they're exposed to smoke.
Secondhand smoke.
Absolutely. It's very dangerous. And in some instances, it can actually be more dangerous than firsthand smoke. So, because you're getting more of it and you're getting it from multiple people, and that's why people who work in restaurants very much at risk.
Well, back in the 60s, 70s, and early 80s, you didn't want to ride on the subway or a train in England when you're going second class, smoking part.
Okay.
I got on one by mistake. You couldn't see the person sitting across from you with smoke.
I wouldn't be able to handle that. Well, and one thing I found when I was doing the research for this segment, as far back as 1954, American Cancer Society researchers made the confirmed link between cigarettes and lung cancer. Back that far, 1954. People today still believe cigarettes do not cause lung cancer.
That's because the cigarette lobby has more money than the cancer lobby.
And that could very well be. Since then, they've discovered more effects of cigarettes. So we're going to talk a little bit about more
effective cigarettes.
Effects from smoking cigarettes.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't say that correctly. Get that right.
Yes, we have cigarettes that have more cartridge in it than it. Yes.
But tobacco remains the single largest preventable cause of disease and premature death in the United States.
And we got that from the Indians. Quid pro quo.
Yeah, and a little bit different. I think the Indians smoked a little bit something different than what we smoke, but that's okay. 43.8 million Americans still smoke cigarettes today.
How many?
43.8 million.
That's about, what, 5, 6, 7% of the population?
I think I saw somewhere something about 1 in 10 or something to that effect.
10%.
So, yeah, it's absolutely phenomenal. Nearly 1 in 5 are adults. That's just adults.
Cigarette addiction it's easier to get over heroin addiction. I saw that on a TV program.
That's what people say. I don't know the truth in that either, but yes, and people don't recognize the addiction they have to cigarettes. Not just the physical need to smoke or the enjoyment that they have, but the nicotine. And that's the dangerous part of the cigarette. In addition to the smoke, there's a lot of things that happen when you smoke. And again, we're going to talk a little bit more about that in the second segment so people can understand what happens and how that works. 13.2 million cigar smokers in this nation.
Okay.
All right, and 2.2 million pipe smokers. Now, cigars and pipes are not quite as bad as cigarettes.
People don't inhale?
For lung cancer. But they can still predispose to other things like head and neck cancers.
Head and neck?
Head and neck cancers, yes. Cancers in this area. Okay.
There was a pressman on our newspaper who smoked a cigar. And I understand he smoked cigars from the time he was like 12. He had, he had a big purple cancer right on his lip.
On his lip, right there, yeah.
I mean, it was huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I couldn't smoke them.
No. And that's how people feel. They're so connected to it. There are 443,000 premature deaths due to cigarette smoking.
What's a good thing? We'd be able to ask some people if they went for cigarettes.
The other problem is there are 49,400 non-smokers who die due to secondhand exposure. Okay? Very significant number. And these numbers are from 2010. They don't have the more recent numbers yet. Those are the more recent statistics I could get. Some of the other diseases that are caused by cigarettes or can be caused or aggravated by cigarettes: heart disease, any cardiovascular disease with the heart, strokes, cerebrovascular disease, multiple cancers, including lung, which is the most obvious. Cigarettes have been connected to colon cancers, bladder cancers, and head and neck cancers.
How can this be? I remember seeing ads all through the 40s and 50s. Doctors smoke Winston cigarettes.
That's right.
9 out of 10 doctors smoke Camels. My dad smoked 5 packs of unfiltered Camels a day, and he died at age 60-something.
Yeah. And it didn't need to happen. That's the whole thing. And then in addition to dying at a young age, you're dying with these multiple problems. The other diseases are, of course, all of the lung diseases, which we discussed last week. Emphysema, COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, chronic bronchitis. All of those kinds of things go along with cigarette smoking.
I remember seeing on TV the Senate talking to the leaders of tobacco companies saying, "Oh, we don't have any records of that. Cigarette smoking is good for you."
Exactly. Yes. And then they went from saying it was good for you to, well, it may not be good for you, but it doesn't harm you, to finally having to accept the fact that, yes, it is bad for you.
There's a reason kids call them coffin nails.
And there's a reason why they put on the cigarette packs. Who shouldn't smoke it? And my personal feeling is anything, when they tell you that if you're pregnant or nursing, you shouldn't be taking this product, I really look at that product very closely to think, should I be taking it at all? And they've had that on cigarettes for a very long time now. So it's...
On the Big Bang Theory, one of the scientists had monkeys of smoking. And she said, "I like the monkeys to smoke because they look cooler."
Unfortunately, yes. Cigarettes are a very expensive habit.
It's got to be. What is it, $4 or $5 a pack?
A pack now, yes. And what they did is, if you even have a 1-pack per day habit, that's costing you $2,000 a year. That's an average, depending on what part of the country you live in and how much cigarettes are in that area. But it's about $2,000 a year. That's a vacation.
You can put a vacation, long-term health care.
There you go, long-term health care plan. I mean, it's there. We have advice for quitting. Is you can go to cancer.org, cancer.org, and they have all kinds of wonderful things there. You can go to the American Cancer Society as well.
We'll be talking more about that in Section 2.
We are. And the phone number to call, we'll give this again in Section 2, is 1-800-227-2345, 1-800-227-2345. And these people would be happy to help you and give you suggestions and get you through this process.
Stay tuned for, what, second part of...
is all the effects of cigarette smoking and the Great American Smokeout.
Betcha. We'll see you in a bit.